On December 1, 2025, the sixth episode of Mayor of Kingstown Season 4 debuted on Paramount+, a little later than anticipated, but available to subscribers as a whole episode. This mid-season episode, Brother, Can You Spare a Dime?, intensifies the cartel fight to explosive proportions and focuses on Mike McCluskey's last-ditch efforts to protect his family in the face of growing betrayals. It's a suspenseful, action-packed chapter that builds on the consequences of the jail revolt in Episode 5 and Kyle's growing involvement with dubious characters like Callahan. Jeremy Renner, Mike, and Toby Bamtefa, Bunny, both give outstanding performances in this about 55-minute film. The Colombian cartel brutally ambushes Bunny's operations in Kingstown at the beginning of the episode, targeting a safe house connected to his drug pipeline. In keeping with the show's recurrent theme of collateral damage in the prison town environment, this isn't simply a skirmish, it's an organized strike with drive-by shootings and a vehicle bomb that levels a block, killing numerous low-level Crips members and an innocent bystander. Iris, Mike's ally from the strip club, is forced to go underground as a result of the attack, which also causes rioting outside the prison. A deeper relationship between the cartel and Moses that has been simmering since Episode 3 is hinted at when Bunny, played with cold rage by Bamtefa, retaliates by approving a hit on a cartel lieutenant. However, it backfires when the target turns out to be a plant from Moses' Detroit gang. According to the official synopsis, Mike strikes a risky deal to save Kyle, who has become deeply involved in corruption as a result of taking gifts from his neighbor Callahan, the dubious developer from Season 3. In an attempt to pull Kyle back from the brink, particularly in light of Kyle's demand in Episode 5 to move Tracy out of town, Mike approaches Warden Nina Hobbs, Diane Wiest, and offers to provide her with information about Bunny's cartel connections in return for her stopping an internal affairs investigation into Kyle's abuse of his badge. However, Hobbs, who turns out to be more cunning than reformist, manipulates the agreement by insisting that Mike undermine Evelyn's, the DA's, lawsuit against the jail system. Mike's moral dilemma culminates in a midnight meeting at an abandoned mill when he turns over fabricated evidence, betraying his own ethics and straining his relationship with Ian, Hugh Dillon, who detects the lie and confronts Mike in a raw, brotherly breakdown. Mike struggles with his prior traumas, including flashbacks to his incarceration, caused by the riot echoes, in keeping with the season's plot. As Kyle disregards Mike's advice and accepts a payment to ignore a cartel shipment, his plot takes a turn for the worst. This culminates in a gunfight in which he is barely hit by a bullet, his closest encounter with death to far. In the meantime, Tracy, Nishi Munshi, unearths information on Callahan's land transactions, linking them to Evelyn's hospital bed plotting from Episode 4, but her interference puts her in Moses' men's sights. By forming an alliance with a renegade Aryan Brotherhood group inside the prison and using a new inmate pipeline to smuggle weapons, Bunny temporarily obtains an advantage. This sets up Hobbs' crucial decision to either clamp down or switch sides, which is hinted at in more general season summaries. The distance between law enforcement and the McCluskeys grows as Evelyn uses a federal informant to subtly target Mike from her recuperation bed. According to pre-episode rumors, her arc feels more and more secluded, which could lead to a Season 5 exit if recast reports are true. By purchasing a city councilor and exerting pressure on Mike through a covert threat to Iris, the Detroit kingpin, Adarinsula O'Dugbason, strengthens his invasion. There are no significant character deaths in this episode, but it finishes on a suspenseful note when a cartel mole in Mike's closest circle is exposed, making him question everyone.